Vader's Vault here with something a little new and something very familiar. We've got the Havoc is back in stock with a fresh new machine batch, and for the first time in Vader's Vault history, we are allowing a standard option of choosing a shroud. We've been doing custom shrouds for combat class sabers since about 2013, and they've been anything from hand cut by me to hand machined to then now CNC machined for the last several years. But we've always done them and reserved them for RTS events, conventions, or custom orders. So now we have sort of distilled down the different designs that we've come up with and used for the last several years into the most popular, most chosen designs, and we're now offering them in a drop-down selection for the 3 different Havoc products. So we have the standard Havoc, the dark Havoc, and the battle wrap Havoc. All will now be available to choose any of the shrouds that we have here. So there are 6 main styles with a few different variations of each, depending on what you choose for options. Obviously, with the new Havoc, we've got the radial bar graph as an option. So when you choose that, it impacts whether or not the shroud also has cutouts for the bar graph. So most of the shrouds that you see here have a bar graph option, as you can see with this style here, and also on this Diabolus shroud here. So you have the 2 different versions here, one with bar graph and then one without. So if you choose a bar graph, the shroud will automatically come set up for it. The only shroud that is not compatible with the bar graph would be the style 5 down here. We'll get to that in a little bit. So the main shroud design is one that will look very familiar to people. We've been doing this particular style since about 2015. It used to be all hand cut, but now it's CNC machined. Basic shroud is a great canvas for etching work, a lot of open area here, and that is the style 1A. And then they vary depending on what sort of venting style. So this is the main style with the vents that shine through from the emitter, so it lines up with the emitter
sound bank selection. Light.
And then this one also has the cutouts for the bar graph, so it allows the radial bar graph to shine through. And when we do mount these, they will utilize the longer switches, so as they poke through the shroud as well on the shrouds that actually require that. And then so we go from the normal venting, so then we have a couple of other vent styles with the circular cutouts with the single slot in the middle, and then also with the longer slot that goes down the length. And this is the style 1A through 1D. And then we go to style 2, which is named the Acosta style, named after a couple of custom sabers we did back in 2009-ish area. And it will go on over the saber, and the switches just peek out just from under the edges of the shroud, and the vents from the emitter shine through the little gill slots here on the side of the shroud. It also has a bar graph variant, so it will have the similar cutouts to the other shrouds when it is mounted on a saber with a bar graph. Then we have the Diabolus shroud, which is style 3, and again that comes with and without bar graph. I'm going to use this empty hilt here because this won't slide over a hilt switch is already mounted in it. But it is a very aggressive shroud. It doesn't have to be Sithy, but it definitely lends it to that theming with the pointed ends here, the forked sort of devil horns that stick out from the end of the emitter. It has 2 rows of mounting screws, look really, really good with the symmetry there and in line with the switches and everything. And then we have the side gill slots here. Still some great room for etching, and we have done some custom etched versions of this shroud in the past, and we do have some of those pictures in the product now for you to look at, of a couple of the custom versions of each of these shrouds. Then we have the dual shroud. So this is style 4, and it is the dual shroud. And this is mounted at 90 degrees from where a normal shroud would be mounted, because there are 2 of them and they sort of split the switch area. So it gives sort of a double version of those, but they're mounted on the sides. We've done this one since like 2016, 2017. And then, so it already has the pre-built cutouts, so there could be either or, with or without bar graph, already built into the sort of design as part of the feature. So another one that's great for etching, but just on its own adds a lot of dimension to the saber. And that's really what's great about shrouds in general, is that they can change a saber dramatically just by adding just a simple shroud. And then we have the Style 5. Style 5 is one we've used a lot for etching. It has a really deep recessed milled area here, sort of a raised border, and sort of a key slot, raised or embossed key slot feature. It didn't look great any way we tried to do it with the bar graph cutouts right in there, so we decided to omit that feature from this particular shroud design. And I actually have one here that's all done up. Custom etching and copper powder coating on this one. It is a full etch that is raised, and then the copper powder coat on top. So it looks great. We still have the lighted switches that come through. Just does not have the bar graph feature on this particular hilt. Just felt that it interrupted that design feature too much. Just didn't work out. So this is the only one that is not compatible with the bar graph on the Havoc. Then we go from that to this we call a little TFU2 style scallop shroud. It just mounts on the emitter, and we have it with or without the telltale little key slot cutout, and it mounts right on the emitter like so, and we get sort of that familiar silhouette to the emitter of this saber. Also is great canvas for etching, and we do have some pictures in the gallery of an etched version of this shroud, but this one is a good economical version. If you don't want something that's like a full encompassing shroud somewhere on the top, this one just adds a little bit more dimension to the emitter of the saber. Looks great on a battle wrap or a dark Havoc, in my opinion. Either one of those, you can't go wrong. So again, first time ever, we're offering shrouds as a drop-down option. No more having to figure out how to contact us on how to get one, especially if you're new to the scene and the custom saber collecting community. It's much easier if you can just select options from a drop-down. We understand that. It took us a while to sort of distill down what we wanted for styles, and then of course manufacturing all this stuff. But if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to us on Facebook. Give us a call here at the shop, 470-839-2551. We do answer it Monday through Friday, 9 to 5. You can get a hold of us here. Or you can reach out to us, like I said, on Facebook. Email is a little slow if you want to communicate with us, especially if you want to get in touch with us about any custom work or etching work or anything like that. It's much better to get to us real time on the Facebook. Thanks again. Enjoy your sabers.